Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, or whatever time you'll be watching this video. So, guys, there is something that happened in social media about 2 weeks ago, and you know, I have been mulling it around in my brain, wondering if, as a nation, if Jamaica has gotten backward in terms of um, political affiliations and, you know, persons' constitutional rights. Now, on September 3rd will be the next general election where Dr. Andrew Holness is vying to retain his party leadership and party in power, the Jamaica Labour Party. And contesting this is Mr. Mark Golding of the PNP. Now we know Jamaica has always been very, you know, dramatic whenever there's an election time coming around, right? And I know back in the 70s and 80s, the um, political arena has been extremely violent, right? Where sometimes there is actually physical violence towards citizens who support other parties. We have seen that there normally is certain areas that are predominantly for one party or the other, especially in the inner city communities, right? So you may have, one section or one half of the street in certain inner city communities, they favor whether the Jamaica Labour Party or the People's National Party. And everyone is normally extremely vocal. But over the years, I think we have, as a nation, have gotten, smarter in terms of, realizing that it's every citizen's constitutional right to vote for whichever party that they choose, right? And Jamaica is a democratic country, right? And at the end of the day, we know that all these politicians, they have opposing views, hence the reason why they're in separate parties. But at the end of the day, they're all friends. Once all the campaigning and all the debates and all of that has ended, once the cameras are switched off, they are all visiting each other, laughing, talking, socializing with each other. While the common citizen in the streets, they are the ones who are fighting amongst themselves unnecessarily. Right? So I believe that within the last few decades, citizens have smartened up and realizing that, hey, you can have your difference in opinion on which party you think is better for the country. I have my difference in opinion. And, we still get along because no two persons are alike. And, one party has to win, one party has to lose. So it was very shocking to me that popular social media personality, Auntie Donna. Ever since I've seen Auntie Donna on social media, I know Auntie Donna has never shied away from the fact that she supports the Jamaica Labour Party, right? And then there is this other social media personality, Andre Stevens, where, well, when he just came on the scene, he was a staunch Jamaica Labour Party supporter, and he even held, high positions within the party. Now, they had a falling out, and he was, I guess, for lack of a better word, you would say exiled from the Jamaica Labour Party. But now he is championing the People's National Party. So he has, his channel does a lot of, political blogs, and, he's following up on the election campaign trail, very keenly. So he has his shows and all of that. And, on his platform, he will rally for, the People's National Party, and for citizens to go out and vote for the People's National Party. Now, the other day, Auntie Donna was on her live stream. I believe it was her TikTok live stream, and she was talking about the election process and whatnot, and among some other things where her mouth slipped on one thing where she said that the country is going backward, and that to vote Labour Party is it would make the country go backward. We all know that it was a slip of the tongue, and what she actually meant was that the country is going forward, but to vote in the People's National Party, it would mean that the country would be going backward. But for persons who dislike the Jamaica Labour Party and or Auntie Donna and or the Prime Minister, they took what she says at face value and they're running with it. Well, anyways, now Auntie Donna at one point, there was a gentleman who said that he was support of the People's National Party, but then he was saying that he wasn't going to be voting in the election. I guess because he had no faith in who was running for the People's National Party and whatever. So, Auntie Donna said, for all the Jamaica Labour Party citizens, those who prefer the Labour Party, to go out and vote for the Jamaica Labour Party. So this is just as anyone else on social media who has their phone, who has a platform, who are rallying for any political party, they come on and they will tell people, go and vote for whichever party it is that they like. And this is including Andre Stevens. So it was rather shocking to me that he came out, and in my opinion, this was basically straight up bullying, and it seemed as if some deep down personal issues that he had with her. And mark you, these two were supposedly cordial associates. They had somewhat of a close relationship, for lack of a better word. Now, I get it that Auntie Donna has a different view from Andre, and in his YouTube live stream, I get it, if he had said, well, Auntie Donna, I see you come on and you're telling the Jamaica Labour Right, the JLP supporters to go out and vote. But if he had said, Auntie Donna, I don't agree with your stance, because I don't think the Jamaica Labour Party is the better party and whatnot, not. And, I would differ. I differ from what you are saying, and I would strongly encourage the citizens to vote for the People's National Party instead of the Jamaica Labour Party. I think that would be normal interaction, especially in 2025, right? But, guys, he went on a 12-minute tirade attacking Auntie Donna for the same thing that he is doing, telling persons to go and vote for the People's National Party. He is attacking her for telling people to go out and vote for the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, if the attacks, as I said, was all political, I really would get it. Where, if he was laying down all the political facts, why her stance is incorrect. But I am going to go through some of the points of attacks where he attacked Auntie Donna. And I would like you guys to put in the comments, please just put in the comments and tell me if you think all of this attack was political or personal. First, he's asking, why did she get involved in this politics thing? Now, as a citizen of Jamaica, she is entitled to have her voice in anything political that is going on in Jamaica, right? She is, um, as I said, a citizen. She has her legal right? She is enumerated and she will be voting. So anything that will be affecting her on the political stance, she has a right to get involved as a Jamaican citizen. He said that she has no intellectual capabilities to understand politics. Now, Auntie Donna has always come out and let everyone know that she doesn't have post secondary education, right? But not having post secondary education does not hinder anyone from having basic um, information and knowing what is going on. You don't need to have gone to post secondary education to know what is right for you and to understand what is happening in the world around you, especially in terms of politics. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to understand, your basic rights. Now, he, is saying that she is witty with making money and not politics. Again, another jab at her not having post secondary education. Then he said that she should have stayed abroad and be quiet. And we all know that, Auntie Donna, she, she partially resides in the United States because she has a permanent resident card. Now, why are you telling a grown woman that she should, stay abroad and be quiet? She has a right to anything that is happening in Jamaica. She's a Jamaican citizen. She will be voting. So she has a say. If you don't vote, you don't have a say. She has a say. She will be voting in the general elections. Then he's saying that she was rude and out of order. Now, this puts me back in mind of, parents back in the 60s where kids at that time, you used to say kids should be seen and not heard, right? And I think in this case, he is rude to be telling a grown woman that she is rude and out of order for having an opinion on what is happening in the country that she resides and she will be taking part in the general elections. Then he said another jab that, she should bake her cake and she should stick to doing charity and leave politics alone. Now, is that a jab at her for not having post secondary education and for you to think that persons who only have trade, they don't have the intellectual capacity to know what is going on around them? Now, you tell me, guys, what do you think of him basically in this instance, basically saying that she should just stay and bake. She doesn't have any right to have an opinion. Now he's saying that she's too follow fashion and wants to be involved in everything. Well, what about you? Everything that happens, in the political arena, you are involved in it. So why isn't she allowed to be involved in it or anything else that happens in the public as well? You're no better than her. She's no less than you. You're both equal citizens of the country. And then he took a jab at her cakes. Of course, a lot of people, will say either Auntie Donna's cakes, they're expensive, or some persons have come out and saying that her cakes are tough or her cakes are, whatever other derogatory terms that they put. And also, when he wanted to come out and sell cakes a couple of years ago, he started off with, doing comparison between his cake and her cake instead of coming out and promoting your cakes legitimately. He came out and started attacking her cakes. I guess he thought that in attacking her cakes she would have less sales, and whatever sales she didn't get, then those would come to him. That is not a good marketing strategy. Then he's saying that why he included that why did she take up the Sheen argument, which was, a few months ago, when Auntie Donna came out and she was, I believe it's close to Christmas last year. And she was saying that, because of Sheen and shipping to Jamaica and stuff, a lot of vendors downtown and a lot of clothing stores, they were losing out because people were buying directly from Shein in China. So she had come out and she was saying, guys, instead of buying from Shein, support the local vendors. But of course, a lot of persons did not like what she said, and they all started arguing with her. Again, he brought up this argument that came out before Christmas last year, right? And brought it into this conversation where all she did was telling her Jamaica Labour Party supporters to go out and vote for Jamaica Labour Party. She did not disrespect anyone. She did not disrespect Andre. But yet still, these are pointers that he is coming out and attacking her because she said Jamaica Labour Party supporters should go out and vote. He also said that she wants to seek relevance in every argument. Again, Jamaica is a democratic country. Why wouldn't she want to, voice her opinion on anything that's in the public and that she wants to do? It's a free country. There is freedom of speech in Jamaica. And he is telling her that she should go and sit down, that politics is not her forte. She should sit down and she is too enough and plentiful and not everything is for her. And then he said that if she came for him, he will deal with her. And this is as if he has some dark secrets for her. So basically, he's trying to shut her up, telling her politics is not her forte. So because she doesn't have post-secondary education, she has no idea what is happening in politics and she should go and sit down, right? And basically, he's trying to shut her up to say, oh, I have I have dark secrets for you. So if you come back out and try to answer me or, respond to my dissing of you, then, I will unleash and, let out some dark secrets. Then he's saying, she should stick to, again, house building and baking cakes and that she is trolling to get views. I don't know what is wrong with these people on social media. Everyone on social media, whether you make a long post, a small post, a video, or a live stream, everyone posts on social media to get views. That is how persons get paid. So why is it that you should be posting on social media to get views and not her? She is also an influencer and a blogger. She's also working on social media. Her posting on social media is to get views so that she gets paid, just like him. Again, he's saying that, he reiterated she should keep out of the political arena. And, he's saying, him and his supporters are saying that People's National Party person supports her more than the Jamaica Labour Party. In everything that Auntie Donna does, everyone knows that she's a Jamaica Labour Party supporter, but she will always tell you that people from both parties support her, but for privacy reasons, she cannot disclose who has supported her from the party. The only person she has mentioned is one young miss who made the contribution publicly. And I'm trying to remember her name at the time. If I remember her name, her name is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it right now. That person of the People's National Party is the only one who has supported her publicly. And so, Auntie Donna has addressed her publicly. But otherwise, she has said that other persons from the both political parties, they have supported her, but for privacy reasons, she can't disclose. Then he's saying that the Jamaica Labour Party, they have never looked at her or acknowledged her. Auntie Donna has always come on social media and she always says that she's not in it for any marmalade, any, any sort of acknowledgement. When she came out, she did say she didn't want any of that. But in recent years, she has been accepting when she has been recognized. She has been accepting awards when she is recognized. And I don't know this part of it where when he mentioned, that the JLP has never acknowledged her. She has never pushed. She hasn't pushed for acknowledgement. Well, I think maybe about a year ago or 2 years ago. Yes, I do remember when she came out and she was voicing her concerns with the Jamaica Labour Party that, she saw them giving awards to lots of persons, but they didn't recognize her. That is the only time I saw where she came out at the Jamaica Labour Party in stating that she they are recognizing other persons around her and not her, and she has been doing the a good job in doing charity work, feeding homeless and the stuff for her community. That I will give him. Then he went on to mention that a few years ago, they were supposed to have a photo shoot that was supposed to be published in the Jamaica Observer. And he said that they didn't want her on the front page because she was too fat and too black. Now, how did this get in? This body shaming, how did this get in? Body shaming and racism. And if you are supposed to be for the people, of Jamaica, why is it that now you have held on to this blatant racist behavior towards her? Right? This shouldn't have come out now when you're having a spat with her. This should have come out from from when it happened. Right? You should have defended a fellow, black Jamaican, to say no, this is not acceptable, right? Don't wait until now to come out and say that is why the photo shoot didn't occur, right? Doesn't matter who it was, whether it's Auntie Donna or any other person. I mean, I don't know if I believe that part of it, but hey, that is what he said. He said that she wasn't on the front of the photo shoot because she was too fat and too black. Then he was saying she was not recognized then, and she would not be recognized now, and that the Jamaica Labour Party doesn't support her charity. Her charity is not a political cha- charity or good deeds program. She started out doing good deeds for the persons in her community. And she has always stated that it would be nice if every parish or every community had one person just like her who would go out and help, some of the less fortunate citizens. And to me, him saying that, the Jamaica Labour Party doesn't support her charity, to me, it seems like he is talking of a quid pro quo. So because the Jamaica Labour Party doesn't support her charity, means that she should not be supporting the Jamaica Labour Party in doing their votes. To me, it sounds like, he would be selling his votes. If he got the right price on the Jamaica Labour Party, he would be voting. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be voting based on, what the both parties are taking to the table, how they will make the country better. Look at the manifesto of both parties, right? And see who is coming with the better plans for the country, not who is going to give you a little something, something, then that is a person who you're going to give the vote. And to me, that point that he made there seems like, basically he's saying the PNP who supports the PNP, you guys will do it for pay. Then again, he repeated that she's too enough and that she is selfish. I don't know how that came in. And one of his callers came and said that, he called her Musk 2.0 and that her business was going to fail. And then they had the audacity to come out and said that she was paid by the Jamaica Labour Party to come out and seek votes. She has always been vocal that she was a staunch supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party. She has lots of photos and videos on her social media pages in support of the Jamaica Labour Party. So for them to utter this is just utter rubbish, right? So, guys, now you tell me. Please put your comment, share your comments and your views. Was his tirade against her political or personal? Because what she said, in my opinion, what she said for the Jamaica Labour Party supporters to go out and vote for Jamaica Labour Party, I don't think that everything that was meted out to her by him, that she deserved it. Because the same thing she said is the same thing he is saying on his platform. And anyone else who has a platform. Look at you. I saw entertainers performing on the rally. There was Being a Man for the People's National Party, and there was someone else from the Jamaica Labour. I don't remember who it was from the Jamaica Labour Party. You have, persons of note who are campaigning for both parties as well. So how is it that I don't see him, or I didn't see him attacking them? Is it that he is very intimidated by Auntie Donna? Because we all know that she is very powerful in the social media sphere, and her supporters are very supportive of her as well. She doesn't only have Jamaica Labour Party supporters. She has Jamaica Labour Party as well as People's National Party and undecided supporters. But I think that because they know that she has a lot of influence, he's severely intimidated by her coming out and saying, go and support the Jamaica Labour Party. Because I think that they believe that she will turn her People's National Party supporters for them to vote for the Jamaica Labour Party. I think you people need to realize that persons are smarter these days. So not because the People's National Party supporter supports Auntie Donna, that doesn't mean that if she says labor rights, go out and vote JLP, that doesn't mean that the PNP supporter is going to support the Jamaica Labour Party and vote for them. Give people some credit. This is not back in the days. This is modern times. Persons are more read. Persons are more up to speed on what is happening in the country. And, persons can think for themselves. Again, guys, leave your views in the comment section and let me know what you think of this.